and Heat release. That is Black and Blue with Heat It Up and Burn It Out. Our good friend Jamie St. James on lead vocal there.
Yes, sir.
Like that song.
That's a good one.
It is. Underrated band Black and Blue.
Right.
They had you know, a catalog of, I guess, 4 studio releases and 1 or 2 live releases. And I guess Jamie is still out there, you know, carrying on the Black and Blue brand, if you will.
Sure.
Even though his drummer is playing with Stephen Pearcy in his version of Rat.
Right.
So anyway, got to know Jamie a little bit when, strangely enough, he moved to the Cleveland area. That's right. Back in the late 90s, early part of the 2000s. Mm-hmm. He kind of faded off on me there, Chris. What's going on?
Oh, I turned my mic down.
You need to turn it up just a touch. You're kind of like fading off in the background.
How's that? Is that better?
That's better.
All right. Yeah, no, the thing was set on the fucking let the applications change it. So every time we reconnected, it was back up at 100%.
You can't like cut that off or what?
Well, I did. And that's right when you said that you couldn't hear me anymore. Yeah. But we're back. I'm here now.
All right. Well, if you can manually change that to where you can adjust it manually without it making changes on its own.
I did.
All right. Perfect.
We should be good now.
Yeah, you're fine. But anyway, strangely enough, Jamie St. James moved to the Cleveland area.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like around either 99 or 2000.
Right.
And it was just a weird thing. I was at the Cleveland Agora one evening. I think it was like 99 or 2000. I think it was 2000, somewhere around there. And I was out at strangely enough a Dawkins show. Believe it.
What?
Yes. And not me. And I was hanging out with our friend who passed away a few years ago. Our good friend, long-haired Mike.
Okay.
And we were at the Cleveland Agora, and he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "look at that guy over there." And he goes, "Is that Jamie St. James?" And I was like, "It kind of looks like him." It's like, I'm going to go over there and ask him, you know. It's like, "Are you Jamie St. James?" He goes, "Yeah, man. How you doing?" You know. And so I introduced myself. I go, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "Oh, I live here now."
Oh,
just out of the blue.
Right.
And that's when you still had Music's Bottom Line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I struck up a conversation with him, and I was just like, "What are you doing here in Cleveland?" And he goes, "Well, you know, I just moved here." It's
right.
like, why? And he was just like, "Well, you know, I was living in LA. I wanted to get out of LA. I asked my real estate broker to just find me a place somewhere to live."
Right.
Somewhere.
And they chose Cleveland.
Yeah. And he said, yeah, she found me a place just a little east of Cleveland. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was, but it was just east of Cleveland.
Like Euclid or something?
Yeah, no, it was a suburb of Cleveland. It's a little southeast of Cleveland.
Okay.
Well, like Richmond Heights or something.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere like that. And I go, "Well, why here?" And he goes, "Well, you know, I'm kind of like out of the music business, and I'm you know, I want to run a dog kennel." And I was like, "What?" And if you know anything about Black and Blue, you know, obviously they were an 80s band and they had some success.
Sure.
But after Black and Blue disbanded, Jamie went on to front a band called Freight Train Jane.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, that was kind of short-lived. And, of course, the 90s happened. And, you know, a lot of these bands or artists from the 80s into the early 90s, they kind of had to go find something else to do because their style of music was out of fashion.
Sure.
And so he was kicking around doing different things. And for whatever reason, he had this interest in, you know, dogs.
Right.
You know? So he purchased a place out in, the southeast of Cleveland and had a little bit of land. And so he was building a kennel,
Right.
literally building this kennel where he would keep people's dogs.
Okay.
If they were going on vacation or something,
Sure.
they needed someone to board their dog or something.
Mhm.
And that's what he was doing.
Oh, good for him.
And I was just like, okay, that's kind of weird. It's just like that's what you're doing now. And he's like, well, I'm not. Wow, you're something's going on with your audio over there.
Not doing nothing. It's too loud.
Yeah, now it's too loud.
All right, let's try this.
All right. So he decided he was gonna, do something with, having a kennel and yeah, boarding dogs and that's what he was gonna do for his livelihood.
Right.
And I was just like, why aren't you doing music? And he was just like, I just kind of like, I fell out of it because of, obviously the musical environment and so on and so forth. And I was just like, well, dude, you're kind of a talent. Why would you just abandon that?
Right.
And he said, well, who's going to listen? Why would anybody be interested in this? And of course, our good friend Billy Morris, he kind of played a part in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced him to Billy and Billy's brother.
Okay.
And he formed a band with them.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to branch off a little bit from the 80s style music, and he was trying to like capitalize a little bit on the 70s style music. So he put together a band with Billy Morris and what's Billy's brother's name?
Is it Robert?
No, I don't think it's Robert.
I don't know his brother's name.
Now you're too low. Is there something you can do to just stabilize your audio?
Dude, it's stable. It's not
No,
moving.
I know, but you're too low.
Well, how's that?
That's better.
But then that's right where it was where you said it was fucking feeding back.
I know it's weird. I don't know what's going on there.
Fuck this shit. I'm quitting the show tonight. Had enough.
Yeah. So anyway, so Jamie formed a band there in Cleveland.
Okay.
And he wanted to kind of capture the 70s glam rock scene type thing. Right. Kind of like the T-Rex type stuff. And so initially he called his band the Glorious Things.
Right.
But obviously that wasn't going to get any traction at all.
Sure.
So he changed the name of the band to just St. James.
Right.
And he played some shows under that banner for a while. He played a CMS night out.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think he debuted St. James at a CMS night out at Ron's Crossroads, which was a little club that no longer exists.
Right.
And he actually toured a little bit around the Midwest under that name. And he played some new tunes and he played some, some black and blue stuff. And, he was just trying to find his way back into the music scene.
Right.
And, he kind of like, it kind of like energized his desire to be involved with music.
Sure.
And it wasn't long after that he tried to resurrect the black and blue name. But then when Janie Lane of Warrant was either left or booted out of the Warrant lineup again,
right,
he joined Warrant as the lead singer.
And
he did that for a few years.
And that failed miserably.
Yeah, but he carried on the Warrant name. He helped them carry on the Warrant name for a little while. And they released one or two records under, I think just one
with him, just that whatchamacallit, the Devil's Juice or whatever
that
was.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that Jamie accepted the fact that he was just kind of holding a space there for a while. But then after, Janie Lane returned to the warrant fold,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie did reunite the black and blue lineup minus Tommy Thayer, who, was basically, giving the Ace Frehley part some actual credibility,
Right. Sure.
And, he's carried it on ever since then.
Right.
But, I got to know Jamie. He came down to the CMS studio at WSTB a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
and he invited me out to his house a couple of times, and I did a, fairly long interview with him for Your Music's Bottom Line.
Sure.
And, after he joined Warren and things, I went out to see him on a few occasions, and connected with him there. And, he's always been a good dude.
Yeah, he's good people, man. I like Jamie. He's always been a good dude.
Yeah, but it was just kind of a weird thing that he just ended up in the Cleveland area just for shits and giggles for really no reason. He didn't have any real connections there, no family, no friends, no nothing. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to settle in Cleveland. What the fuck?
It is nuts. Dude, this fucking microphone property just keeps jumping around. Every time I close, see it now for no reason right now, it's jumping upward.
Okay.
For no fucking, I'm not touching anything. I have it on the screen. I'm watching it go up. It just went from 50 to 81. What the fuck?
What program is that?
Windows 10.
Oh.
I'm just in the Windows program, and it's just adjusting itself. I'm looking for advanced, and then you have the box that says allow applications to take exclusive control of this device. I unchecked that so that the apps don't do it. See, right now it's at 84.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it right, I swear to God.
I'm gonna take your word for it. You're the more techie guy than me.
What the hell is going on with this fucking cocksucker? I really don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, we'll deal with it. You sound fine at the moment. It's just when you get close to the mic, that's when it gets a little distorted.
All right. Well, I'll stay far away from it. Is that better?
Yeah, you're fine right now.
Okay. Well, we'll see if
it's getting up tight on the mic. It just gets a little fucky.
Well, I'll just stay away.
All right.
Just like the great band Alice in Chains, I stay away.
Yeah. Jar of flies.
That's right.
All right. All right. Well, this whole world is kind of turned upside down since the late winter.
Right. Sure.
With this fucking coronavirus.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I can't blame people for having doubts about this coronavirus bullshit.
Okay.
Because of, again, I know you don't get out of the house a lot.
Sure.
But do you know anyone with this virus?
I've talked to a few people that have had it. Yes.
They've had it, or they said they had it?
No, I've talked to a few people that have had it.
Okay. And
they're alive.
And what happened to them?
They're alive. They're fine.
Well, what happened?
They got sick. They fucking got healthy.
Well, to what extent did they get sick?
They got like the flu. They had like the flu symptoms. They were sick. They felt like shit. Then they were fine.
All right. So nothing happened to them.
No, they didn't die or anything, or they didn't end up in ICU or nothing. They just got sick, laid around for a week, got better.
Okay. Well, as you may or may not be aware, the big Sturgis bike rally happened.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I think this is the last weekend for it. It happened over the last 10 days.
Yeah, Ron Keel was out at it.
Was he?
Yeah, he played.
Right. I wasn't aware, but okay. But the whole big Sturgis bike rally, that bike rally over the 10-day period had like 250,000 people.
Okay.
Come to this thing. And the media, of course, the biased media, they have to make it out like it's like the gathering of the devil worshippers or something, because a lot of the people, or most of the people there, were just like, yeah, fuck this virus.
Right.
We're doing this thing. And so the media, whoever the media is,
Uh-huh.
they go to this bike rally and they're walking around and going, you guys aren't social distancing, you're not wearing masks, you're not following these guidelines. And a lot of the backlash that the people who attended this rally,
Mm-hmm.
most of them just like, I came from Georgia, or I came from Texas, or I came in from Florida, or they came from all parts of the country.
Right.
And a lot of the people who they interviewed for this, for the shocking revelation that these biker people were gathering at Sturgis, they weren't wearing masks, and they weren't social distancing, and they weren't doing this and that and the other. I read this article, which I was surprised that they actually published, because it didn't follow the narrative.
Okay.
But a lot of the people that they interviewed, or most of the people that they interviewed, they go, yeah, I'm from these parts of the country, wherever they're from. Yeah, I don't know anybody who's had this thing.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it. I don't know anybody who's had this. And here it is that I've been, obviously I've been going to work. My business is not shut down.
Sure.
And I do this every day, and I go out in public, and so on and so forth. I don't know anyone who's had this. Nobody. And I'm not saying it's not real, but my point is, it's not quite as widespread as they would have you believe.
Sure. Okay.
They would have you believe that people are dropping dead in the streets like The Walking Dead or something.
Right.
And that's just not true. So the shock and the outrage that these bikers were coming into Sturgis, and they're not wearing masks and social distancing, and they were just partying like the coronavirus just didn't even exist, was just shocking, and it was outraging.
It's horrible.
It was horrific.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny to hear these people go, yeah, I came from, whatever part of the country. It's like, yeah, I'm not seeing that anywhere. I haven't seen that. I don't know anybody who's like that. I'm not afraid of this.
Yeah.
It's like, what's your problem?
No, I get it. I mean, I'm not out and about because I really don't want to deal with the mask thing.
Yeah,
but I don't see my neighbors dead in their yards or anything. So I assume everybody's fine. I don't see anybody, rushing back and forth to hospitals or anything. They're all fucking fine.
Yeah, I hear you. Alan Killcaller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, it's your friend from Louisiana calling. How are y'all tonight?
Oh, we're friends now? We have no friends. What the hell's wrong with you?
It's your listener from Louisiana calling in. I'm just curious. I know Chris isn't the biggest college football fan in the world, but you guys are up there in Big Ten country, and the Big Ten pulled the plug this week. So your Michigan Wolverines, your Ohio States, your Iowa, your Penn States, all these huge college football programs with all these huge fan bases and all these towns and cities and economies are just going to, just get bludgeoned even further. I was just curious what the reaction was up there to all that.
For me, haven't paid attention, don't care. Let them die. Let them die. Because if they were running their game, I'd be looking at fucking the BLM 10 instead of the Big Ten. So fuck it. Don't care. I'm not watching any sports anymore. Sports officially died when they spray painted Black Lives Matter on the basketball court. I'm fucking done with all of it.
Well, Chris, the one thing about college football is the teams are in the locker room when they play the national anthem. So at least in college football, that doesn't come up one way or the other. But to me, as a sports fan, it's the best. It's the best sport there is. College football is unmatched in my of all the sports. But I know you're a big pro guy, but it's going to really, really suck if the SEC pulls out too.
Dude, I don't think that the NFL is going to play either, to be honest. I think they're gonna end up. I can't believe baseball hasn't been canceled yet. I keep hearing stories about baseball having more and more problems and players being suspended or going out partying and having problems and whatnot. So it just seems like the baseball thing is a joke, and the NFL without fans in the stands, what is that going to be? That's going to just suck.
I think it all sucks, to be honest. I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers, but these basketball games and empty arenas and baseball games and empty stadiums, and it's just. I don't want to say sports is nothing without the fans, but in many ways, sports is nothing without the fans, without the atmosphere, without the. So it'd be like just the same as music. I mean, you watch your favorite band on Facebook, you can hear them play, but without the atmosphere and everything, it's just not nearly as exciting. So
right, exactly. I know I've tried to watch like I'm a wrestling fan, and the wrestling with no fans just sucks. It's terrible. It's just not worth watching. Now I will say I'm gonna watch when the show's over here in a few hours. I'm gonna watch tonight's pay-per-view with the fight, the Miocic and Cormier. I'm gonna watch that. And that's going to be my first foray into seeing that with no fans. But I can't even imagine that that's going to be really good either. Cause I mean, part of the excitement is when somebody gets choked out or whatever, and the people go crazy. And now it'll just be, three guys in the corner going, woohoo, doesn't sound like it's going to be as fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other day, the Houston Astros pitcher, he told the guy what pitch he was throwing. Like, it was so quiet in there. He was like, hey, I'm coming with a fastball or whatever. I mean, they were, and the guy still popped out. But, yeah, it's going to.
Now, was it the pitcher that told him, or was it one of those cardboard cutouts?
Oh, yeah, the cardboard cutouts. Yeah. No, the pitcher just literally, he was just telling the guy, oh, here it comes. Yeah, I'm throwing you a this, and the guy still popped up. So.
Dude, you have to, as a sports fan, you have to admit the cardboard cutouts is ridiculous.
I guess I mean, they're trying to make the best of the situation with a little humor, I guess. But I mean, what can you, it's just very odd. Then they had the guy from the Seattle Seahawks. He got in trouble because he snuck a girl up into the hotel the other day. He put a jersey on her or something, or he tried to disguise her like as a member of the personnel. the cameras busted him, so he got cut. So there you go.
He got cut. Nice. I know they. I don't even understand what they're doing. I saw the article that two of the Indians players got optioned, which usually means cut. But I don't think they were cut. They were optioned to the alternate site. I don't even know what that means. Yeah,
and then the NFL's now got the COVID list and kind of like an injured reserve and all that, and it's just, it's going to be a long fall. If, I'm with you. I think if the NFL doesn't play, they're the king of everything. If the NFL doesn't play, then I think that means college doesn't play. Your high schools don't play. It's just going to be, I've got a roof over my head. I got food. I shouldn't complain to an extent, but man, they are really testing our threshold of how many things they can take away from us and make us suffer before this is over with. It's just unreal.
I promise you, there's plenty of football, baseball, basketball, whatever you want to watch, hockey. There's plenty of games that you have not seen that are on YouTube. So just watch it on YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's from last year or 5 years ago or 35 years ago. Some of that stuff's fun. I've been watching, like I 2 weeks ago, I went through a thing where every night I was watching a an all-star game from the baseball. And that was pretty fun watching from like the 60s and stuff. Watching, hey, here's Mickey Mantle, here's Joe DiMaggio. I was like, God damn, this is awesome. Far better than watching this what we have today. So, there's still sports you can enjoy.
Yeah, Chris, well, LSU won the national championship this year, and they've been replaying those games for the past 6 months or whatever. And like somebody said, I want to see a sporting event where I don't know the outcome. I want to know, a game I can watch where I don't know who's going to win. So anyway,
team, dude, just go and watch. Go to YouTube and search Dolphins versus Jets or something. Two teams that you really don't have a ton of interest in, and see what comes up. Watch that. At least it's sports.
Just an old Dan Marino game. Huh? Just pop it in and just not sure who won. Just watch it. There you go.
Look it up.
Well, I want to compliment you guys on the show you do. I stumbled upon it about a year ago, and I think you got it all figured out. Like the other day, I'm listening, and you got a great conversation going with a listener, and it's about 9:55, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if they were on commercial radio, what would they have to do, right? You'd have to hustle the caller off the line. You'd have to do your top of the hour news break, or whatever you do at the top of the hour. And certainly, I've heard the language on this show, so there's no need for a call screener whatsoever.
Right.
Let those bad boys fly in.
Well, that's what happens when there's no money involved. Money changes everything, as Cyndi Lauper once said.
Is that? I mean, I heard you guys talk about Howard Stern. I mean, I've watched his old clips when he did his TV show and stuff, but. That's what changed him when he started the show changed when he went to satellite radio and got even more money, or is that what you're kind of talking about? Or
kind of, but the problem with Howard was Howard always wanted to be part of that fucking Hollywood media. He wanted to be a member. He wanted to be accepted with Hollywood. So once he got prominent enough, then they started accepting him, and then he just caved into being that. Now, the reality is if we took a paycheck from anybody, then they start trying to influence the show, and that's, even we tried about, what was that, Neeley, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, we tried having an advertising guy to make a little coin from the show. And it took this guy no longer than 2 weeks before, after promising we wouldn't have to change anything that we do, before it was automatic. Well, you need to change this, and you need to change the website. You need to do this, and you need to change that. You need to add this. It was like, fuck this. This is this is not my job. I have a job. If this becomes my job, I won't do it anymore because I won't like it.
Right. Chris, stop talking about porn so much. Neeley, stop talking about Donald Trump so much. That'd be kind of, trying to.
Exactly. That's what it would become. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah. Promote Black Lives Matter a little more, will you?
Yeah.
Why don't you act like why don't you act like a woke show?
I thought for sure Kamala Harris would be on the show tonight. Some point during the 6 hours, she's going to make an appearance, but
she might.
That's not. Did y'all see the new Sammy Hagar lockdown where he did "Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do" off the Balance album, the first single off the Balance album?
I saw it.
Really good. Yeah,
it was solid. It was good. Sammy's about the only guy that has done the lockdown kind of correctly. I was saying to my friend John earlier this week that I would actually buy an album of the lockdown tunes that he's done because they've done a really nice job with them. But
I thought Aldo Nova did pretty good too.
But he only did like 3 and then he quit.
Yeah, but the 3 that he did pretty well.
Yeah, they were good. So I guess release an EP. I'll tell you, Sammy's done about 10.
9.
Yeah, he's done
like 9 of them.
He's done like an album's worth.
No doubt. Before I let you go, Tim James, he seems like a really good guy, nice guy. Good spirit and everything. We never found out what he was doing in Los Angeles when he met up with Motley Crue's management? What was the reason he flew all the way to Australia and just did that?
Didn't he say a wedding or something, Neely? He was there for a wedding or something?
Well, he was there, but I think what he was trying to do was he was trying to get them to represent him as an artist.
Okay. What is the record that he's called your show in a 6-hour period? Like, how many times has he called your show? Like the most he's ever called?
I'm going to say maybe 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because there's been 1 or 2 times where we told him if he called again, we would fucking ban him from calling.
See, sometimes I've called you and I'm like, I should have brought that up, or I forgot to, and then I'm like, well, I'm not going to call a show more than once. And I've listened, and it's like, this guy's called in like 2 or 3 times in an hour. It felt like.
He just thinks of something, and it's like, oh man, I got to add that, and then he calls again, But what's really strange, and I'm going to interview you here in a second, dude. But what's really strange is that, what is it with this show and people in Australia? I mean, we have several really hardcore Australian fans that really, whatever reason, they relate to the show. And I'm not going to go through the whole list here, but we got people who email us constantly who are just diehard fans of the show in Australia. And it's just like, what is it that we do that, that relates to the people who live there? And to me, it's strange, but here's my question for you. And I may have asked you this before, as somebody who's in a commercial aspect of broadcasting, what is your interest in this show?
I grew up in the 80s, and those were my favorite. I mean, I didn't listen to it was all the mainstream stuff, the Bon Jovi, Van Halen, Guns N' Roses. I mean, all the hard rock or pop rock that made it to top 40. That still is my favorite era of music. And so I came across it one day, probably checking out an Eddie Trunk clip or something, and then classic metal popped up. And then so I started listening to some of your clips, and then I was like, well, this show is classic metal, but it's really, it's not classic metal at all a lot of times, which is great. I mean, you guys just talk about everything. So that's cool. But yeah, I like to listen. I like to hear the stories. I like to hear when you talk about the stuff that Dokken deals with at concerts and traveling and the behind the scenes stuff and all that. So yeah, and then you just got you've got a long show, so I can catch it for, a good chunk of time. And then I admire the endurance, though. How do you do a 6-hour show, though? I mean, you just have to just jazz up.
It goes by in 5 minutes. Literally. I mean, both Chris and I agree. It's just like, it might be a 6-hour show, but dude, when we're on, it goes by in 5 minutes.
Yeah, if we're on, it seems fast. Nights like tonight, where we were dicking around for the first 2 hours, that felt like, that was, I literally went and laid back down. I was like, fuck this, I'm going to go lay down, because it just was dragging, and I couldn't take just sitting there listening to Scorpions tunes. I had to get away from it.
I love the breakdown. You guys had done one on the Scorpions tribute album a while back, right? I had heard that one. The guy, John Parr, the one who did Naughty Naughty and St. Elmo's Fire, he was on that thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the first tune out of the box was Rocky Like a Hurricane, and Neely, you had it. The first guitar riff came in like at 5 decibels in one speaker, and then the second guitar riff came in like twice as loud in the other. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, so hail and kill, keep up the good work, and keep it rolling.
All right, there goes our friend from Louisiana.
There he is.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. That guy's on like a local, Louisiana commercial television station and does sports.
Right.
He's got to be bored out of his mind, because obviously there has been nothing going on in sport ever.
I know. I used to listen to sports talk, and then obviously since I'm not watching it, I took it all off my phone and stuff, took the podcasts off and everything. But really, I more took it off my phone because it was so goddamn boring for the last, 2 months before I took it off my phone. It was all like, it got to the point where they were so desperate that it was like, who's the greatest manager of all time? We'll take your calls. And it was like, oh my God, really? You're going to do 4 hours of fucking radio going, I think Tommy Lasorda had something there for a guy with the Dodgers. He really was a good. It's like, oh my God, are you really taking calls on this fucking topic that means nothing? How desperate are you to fill fucking time?
Well, that's basically what it is. They are desperate to fill time.
Yeah, but fill it with something else. Do something. Do a playback of a game or something. I don't know. Anything other than that. That's the worst. All right, guys. Who should the Indians sign to be the bullpen coach? We'll take your calls. Who cares? It's just stupid.
Well, weird times we live in, man.
Yeah, it is.
And again, I'm going to reiterate the statistics.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of you, quote unquote, dying from this COVID, now that testing is widespread here in the States, it's like 0.0033%.
And that's with all the lying about in a car accident, but had COVID. Okay, it's a COVID death.
So it's like 0.25%.
Mm-hmm.
0.25% the chance of you dying from getting this COVID.
Yeah, but why take the risk? You're risking my life by not wearing a mask.
Right. But here's the thing. The whole country, the economy, your and my life is all affected by 0.003%. More people die of heart attacks, cancer, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's the new age American way, Neely, because look at how much love and changing of all of society we've given to gay.
Yeah.
Being gay. And how many people are actually gay? That's like 1%, isn't it?
Well, it's like 3.
Okay, well, 3%. So 97% of the people need to change to fucking make 3% feel fucking loved.
Right. This is not even 0.5%.
Sure.
Not even 0.5%.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the entire world is on a lockdown because of this.
I say just let people die.
Just
let people die. They're going to die of something anyway.
But yet the common flu kills more people every year.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't lock the whole world down because of it.
Well, no. But this. They got their meat hooks in and they're not letting go.
Right. So basically your liberty has been fucked.
Of course. Didn't I see that somewhere, I think California, of course, because it was fucked up news, but did I not see that somebody proposed in like their state Congress or their state Senate or something that if you don't wear a mask that you could be charged with attempted murder?
Like San Diego or somewhere like that.
You could be charged with attempted murder.
Yeah, it's like you're banging chicks with HIV.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're going to charge me with attempted murder for fucking not wearing a mask, believe me, I'm going to start carrying my gun out and fucking take advantage of being charged that way. I am going to murder some motherfucking idiots. If I got to go to jail for not wearing a mask, I'm going to not wear a mask and fucking throw some lead into somebody's fucking skull.
Right.
Bunch of idiots.
Yeah. I saw some politician, I don't know what her position is, whether she's like a congressperson or a city worker or whatever, but she's out there in California, I believe is like San Diego or somewhere like that,
right,
where she's out there screaming and yelling, at a press conference, basically saying, "You need to wear a mask. This is the law."
No, it's
and,
not.
And the thing is, it's not the law. It's not the law. Well, you need to be arrested if you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah. Do I?
Yeah, it's not the law, and you're not breaking a law.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mandate.
Yeah.
It's not a law.
It's a request at best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, it's out of control, and people with their fucking self-entitledness are a bunch of fucking assholes, and I hate them all. Every one of them. I can't stand people. I just can't. Just like that fucking cunt that approached me at the CVS. I wish it was a guy. I wish it would have been a guy, because I'd have knocked him on his fucking ass.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm getting to this point.
Okay.
All right. Well, before I get to that, I just wanted to finish up this whole Sturgis thing.
Okay.
So the media is out at this Sturgis rally,
Mm-hmm.
where, a quarter million people have gathered, these bikers.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of these bikers, they're blue collar people. They work hard. They save their money. They can afford to buy their motorcycles, which a lot of them are very fancy.
Right.
You ride a motorcycle, it's like $20,000, depending on, the motorcycle you have. If you dress it all out and things, could be expensive. Then they spend, a whole week, 10 days at this Sturgis. They got to pay for their accommodations, whatnot. So these people take this shit pretty seriously. That's their thing. It's like the guy with this Taco Bell booth in his office.
Right.
That's his thing,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the headline is, "If we get it, we chose to be here."
Yeah.
Nobody forced you to get on your scoot and go out there to Sturgis.
Right.
So tens of thousands of motorcyclists roared into the western South Dakota community on Friday, lining Main Street from end to end for the start of the annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally.
Mm-hmm.
Tens of thousands of motorcycles. Let's see here. They kicked off despite the objections from the residents and with little regard for public health emergency ravaging the world.
Here's my thought. Isn't there an equally public health thing from breathing in the exhaust from 10,000 fucking motorcycles?
Well, now you're talking about the Green New Deal now, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, I've got to imagine that that's just as dangerous as fucking COVID. With its 0.2% or whatever it is.
0.3%.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's just as dangerous to be breathing in fucking smoke from an engine.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah. It could have been any other past summer rally in Sturgis with herds of RVs and bikers and classic cars converging on the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in a 10-day affair that was expected to attract roughly 250,000 enthusiasts this year, about half the number who attended last year, but a figure that puts it on track to be among the country's largest public gatherings since the first corona case emerged in the spring.
Right.
Save for a few hard-to-spot hand sanitizer stations, it could have been any major festival in a pre-pandemic world.
Mm-hmm.
Screw COVID. I went to Sturgis, read a black t-shirt amid a sea of Harley Davidson and Trump 2020 outfits sported by the throngs of people walking along the main street. See, we have to connect Trump to this, right?
Of course.
Their gear did not include face masks and social distancing guidelines. They were completely ignored.
Yeah.
South Dakota is among several states that did not put in place a lockdown, and state officials have not required residents to wear masks giving attendees who wrote in from other states fewer restrictions than they may have back home.
Okay.
Attendance on Friday was on par with previous years, said Dan, blah, 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 the city manager of Sturgis. It's kind of like a typical rally. He said the number of people coming into downtown and the crowds are still building. Indeed, fears that the rally would be a super spreader event did not appear to scare riders from attending. A super spreader event. Bikers flock to the tents featuring tattoo artists. They appear apparel and gear and food.
Mm-hmm.
Health experts say that the coronavirus is less likely to spread outdoors, especially when people wear masks and socially distance. But large gatherings like the motorcycle rally also increase the number of visitors inside the restaurants and the stores. And a few businesses in Sturgis put up signs limiting the number of customers who could enter, but most did not post such notices.
Right.
Over the past week, there have been an average of 84 corona cases per day in South Dakota.
Oh, my God.
A 31% increase over the previous 2 weeks. At least 4 new virus deaths and 105 new cases were reported on Thursday. 105 cases in an entire state.
Yeah.
Governor Kristi Noem, a Republican, encouraged people to attend the rally, and in an interview with Fox News, the devil, of course, on Wednesday night, saying the state had successfully hosted other large events, including a 4th of July celebration at Mount Rushmore, that President Trump, the devil, Hitler, a Nazi, what other adjective you want to throw to him?
Yeah.
Without seeing a direct increase in virus cases. Plus, she said, the state's economy benefits when people visit.
Mm-hmm.
Money over lives, man. Money over lives. The State Department of Tourism has estimated that the annual festival generates about $800 million in revenue.
Right.
See? Money over lives.
Damn right, as it should be.
The rally, which has taken place every summer in Sturgis since 1938, commenced among strong objections from residents. In a city-sponsored survey, more than 60% of the nearly 7,000 residents favored postponing the event. Little could be done to stop the event. The county lacked the authority to shut down the rally because much of it takes place on state licensed fairgrounds. When it became clear that it would go on as planned, the city said in a news release that changes would be made to safeguard residents from the coronavirus, including adding hand sanitizing stations to the downtown area. I didn't know that the corona was passed by people with their hands.
Well, yeah, because if it touch. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't they dispel that already? Or has that been
well, that's what it was. They said that it isn't transferred by like touch. It's transferred through water droplets from your breathing. That's why the mask thing is so important. Right. The city plans to offer coronavirus testing for its residents once the rally concludes on August 16th, which is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the most recent Centers of Disease Control and Prevention guidelines do not suggest a specific limit for a number of attendees at the gatherings or community events. They encourage organizers to maintain a capacity conducive to reducing the spread of the virus.
Yeah.
The agency encourages people to socially distance at least 6 feet apart and wear a mask.
Yeah, pal.
Attendees will be asked to respect the community concerns by practicing social distancing and taking personal responsibility for their health by following the CDC guidelines. But on Friday, throngs of ralliers parked their bikes and they walked shoulder to shoulder along the downtown streets. Nary, I've never seen this in a article before, the word nary, N-A-R-Y.
Mm-hmm.
Nary a mask in sight.
Oh my God.
These rebel outlaw bikers, they're not wearing masks, god damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Police officers stationed at the intersections also were not wearing masks. They should be fired immediately.
Right. Of course they should be.
Bruce Lebsa, 60, drove from North Carolina last week to be among the first in town. This was the first year he would be able to attend the rally since retiring, and he did not want to miss it. On Friday, he was not wearing a mask. He should be killed immediately.
Should.
And he said he had no concerns about catching the virus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone who's had it, he said. Amy Sabotas, 27, who was working in the women's apparel shop for the bikers called One Sexy Biker Chick, said Friday crowds of shoppers had been steady. She said she didn't know what to expect, but she was happy to see the people turning out. Mm-hmm. We are allowed to make our own choices, she said. If we get it, we chose to be here.
Yeah.
Still, Nelson Horsley, 26, of Rapid City, South Dakota, said he expects there will be a rise in the coronavirus case in the area once the rally concludes next week, but he said he didn't feel the need to wear a mask while walking around downtown Friday afternoon. He compared the virus to getting a seasonal flu.
Yeah. Hey, look, you're going to die of something. Everybody worries so much about fucking dying, like it's not going to happen to them. You know what? If you die from the coronavirus, so fucking what? You're going to die of something.
Yeah, don't go.
Yeah, stay home.
I haven't seen anyone out here wearing a mask, so it kind of feels like it defeats the purpose, he said, to wear a mask himself. While most residents opposed the rally, some offered their front yards as campsites for bikers who were unable to find a hotel room, but many others said that they were worried about the impact that the rally would eventually have on the small community.
See, here's what I want. I want some real fucking proof. Give me some proof of all these fucking deaths that we've had.
Yeah.
That all of these people were people that did not wear masks. I want to know the number of people that have died, but they wore masks anyway, just to prove out that this fucking mask thing is nonsense.
Yeah.
They'll never report that, though.
No, of course not.
They
it doesn't meet the agenda. It doesn't, doesn't support that agenda at all.
They just spin it in a way to fucking to meet their goddamn agenda, and that's it. And it's like now some of the things that they're doing. I love how I'll just throw this one out there. I'm sure you saw that Metallica announced the Eric Braverman first announced concerts.
Yeah,
the drive-in concert on the 29th of August, right?
Yeah, you heard it right here first on the Classic Metal Show, folks.
Exactly. But here's the thing. You're going to jam 6 people into a fucking car, right? None of those fucking people are going to be wearing masks. And I guarantee you, most of them don't live in the same fucking house. So what? So we're doing what now? We're encouraging the behavior of gathering, of having a small gathering of friends that are going to get together? Is that what we're doing here with this event? But it's okay because it's what, Metallica? Or because it's at the drive-in and it's out, it's sort of outside? You're gonna hemorrhage in 6 fucking people into one fucking car.
Yeah, but you're not gonna affect the car that's next to you though.
Yeah, but you're gonna kill fucking 5 others if you've got it, according to these fucking goofs.
Right.
And let's face it, the Metallica crowd is the fucking crowd. It's a bunch of fatsos that are fucking between 50 and 70. That is the fucking crowd that's gonna catch the fucking corona. So as far as I can see it, Metallica is going to be guilty of killing people on the August 29th. Yeah. Are we going to charge them for that?
Yeah, like Andrew Cuomo and stuffing corona patients into nursing homes in New York. Oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to talk about that.
Or that guy Levine that pulled his mother out of the fucking nursing home, but then wouldn't let anybody else take their mothers out. That fucking cocksucker in fucking Pennsylvania. Yeah, enough with this nonsense. You can spin it any way you want, and everything is, you can't tell me that this fucking dumb virus is so potent that you have to stay 6 feet apart and all this other nonsense. But you can have a waitress that's breathing on you, and you can have a fucking chef in the back that's breathing on your food, and they bring it back and forth, and you're passing people within, a foot of each other, and when they're eating, they're taking their masks off and blowing their spit and their shit and everything else out all over this fucking restaurant. But that's somehow safer as long as you wear a mask walking in and walking out.
Right,
it's
exactly. Or going to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. The whole thing is fucking dumb. Just admit that it's dumb. Live life. Let people fucking die. Fuck, I would think the Democrats would want people with no masks because the people that are old are going to vote Republican. So let all the fucking old fucking people die. Let all the oldies and the fatzos die. Let it happen. That only helps you, you dumb fucking liberals. Cocksuckers. They're so fucking stupid always.
Yeah. Among those was Patricia Viator, 64, who has lived in Sturgis for 16 years. She said she became resigned to the fact that there was nothing residents could do to stop the thousands of bikers from coming to the city. She said she's worried for her family and the town, and she takes several precautions when leaving her house, including wearing a mask. It scares me more than before because we don't have many cases around here, but now this increases the chance of us locals getting it, she said.
So translation, your fear is now my problem.
It is.
Fuck you, old lady.
All right, one quick story, and we'll take a short break regarding this virus.
Okay.
So apparently, we're our friend down in I believe Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
This happened down in his area,
right?
So 3 women were arrested for allegedly attacking a Chili's host for enforcing social distancing.
The host was enforcing it, or they attacked her for not doing it?
No. The host was trying to enforce social distancing with people coming to the restaurant.
Okay.
So they beat her ass.
All right. Well, if that's the restaurant rule, they shouldn't be beating her ass. They should just leave. But
well, I agree. But this is what happened. 3 women were accused of assaulting a 17-year-old restaurant host in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, because they were upset they could not all be seated together due to the coronavirus social distancing rules. The incident occurred on Sunday after a large group of women, that's what it says, a large group of women, or maybe a group of large women, entered a Chili's restaurant and asked to be seated at the same table. The employee advised the group that due to social distancing requirements, the businesses, now here's your point right here. The business only allowed 6 at a table. So if there's more than 6, you're likely to get it, but 6 or less, no chance of getting it.
Thank God. Thank God the virus counts. Virus sits around that table, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Safe. I'm not coming to this table. There's only 5 here.
Well, it's a smart virus.
Thank God. And thank God nobody's breath goes across somebody else's drink and then they drink it.
Right.
Thank God, because nobody ever gets little bits of spit coming out of their mouth when they're talking either, right?
Not if there's 6 or less.
Yeah, if there was 7, it's a fucking...
Well, 7 would definitely tip the scale.
Like a waterfall if it's 7.
It would be.
Yeah.
So they could sit 6 people at a table, but above that, no fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening.
Right.
The employee advised the group that due to social distancing requirements, the business only allows 6 at a table.
Mm-hmm.
The employee was then physically assaulted by multiple people in the group.
All right, that's not funny, but it is.
Just think about this. You mean what did they do? Did they grab her and start holding her down and punching her, or what? Don't you tell us we can't have 7 at our table, pal. I mean, seriously.
Purse with a brick was swinging.
Right. 3 of the women, Tammy Dabney, 48.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rodnika Dabney, 27.
Rodnika Dabney was there?
Yeah, Rodneka.
Rodnika, white woman?
I was waiting for that.
I was just curious if it's a white woman.
And Erica Dabney, 46.
So the Dabney trio were there.
Yeah, the Dabney trio.
All right.
All of Baton Rouge were arrested on Thursday in connection with the incident.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy Dabney faces charges of aggravated second-degree battery. Erica Dabney and Rodnika Dabney, I'm sure they all had the same father.
Jesus Christ, Rodnika?
She had the darker skinned father.
Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Face charges of disturbing the peace and simple battery.
The mother needs to have charge of fucking naming her kid like a moron. Rodnika?
Rodnika.
What kind of name is that? She named after daddy's dick?
I think so.
Ta-da! Meet my Rodnika.
Right.
Jesus.
It was not clear if any of the 3 have lawyers. Attempts to reach the 3 suspects Friday were not immediately successful. Capicola said anonymous tips to Crime Stoppers helped lead to the arrest and that the investigation is ongoing. A request for comment to the Chili's Media Relations Office.
Why would a Chili's need a media relations office?
Well, because they have problems there.
Do you think that that's more than one person in the entire country? Chili's media relations?
Well, they got problems.
Yeah, apparently they let people named Rodnika in.
Right. They're the new Denny's.
Jeez, oh man. Does Denny's have a media outlet?
Well, they probably did at one point.
Is it based in Miami?
Yeah, it's based in Moons over Miami, Florida.
And where's your home base? Miami.
Right. Police did not identify the Chili's worker, but she's been identified in a Go Fuck Yourself campaign as Kelsey Wallace.
All right. Kelsey Wallace.
Kelsey Wallace.
Wow, those are some not attractive ladies.
Mm-mm.
Look at those pictures. Jesus. The one, I mean, if that's not a wig, I don't know what is.
No, it's a weave.
That looks like it's got a handle on it.
It's a weave.
It looks like somebody took a sickle and slammed it on her head. Looks like a sickle. Doesn't it?
It does.
Looks like a sickle.
The old sickle head.
Yeah. To go with her sickles.
Right.
All right. I'm not telling racist jokes tonight. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I guess I am.
Wallace was not available for interview on Friday, but her aunt, Lorraine Williams, who started the Go Fuck Yourself campaign, said her niece is haunted by the assault.
She's haunted. She looks like she does some haunting. Jesus.
Yeah. She is emotionally wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Williams said in a telephone interview on Friday, she has a lot of nightmares and fears.
Yeah.
Wallace has begun seeing a behavioral therapist because she is showing signs of anxiety. She doesn't like to be alone, Williams said, adding that Wallace has been having trouble sleeping at night. She just went to bed this morning.
Right.
The aunt said that the assault occurred after Wallace refused to seat a party of 13 at the same table because the restaurant's per limit is 6 due to the coronavirus.
See, if I had a party of 13, I would take 3 tables and just be yelling across the restaurant.
Right, of course.
I would just be an absolute prick. Like, hey, what are you having over there? You having the shrimp? Oh, the burger. I got it. You know, hey, should I throw a tip on here? Is she keeping your drink filled? Idiots.
Yeah. Well, when I was a teenager and I worked at Bob Evans,
yeah,
especially on Sunday, we'd have these groups of people that would come in and they would insist on us pulling all these tables together so they could all sit at this one table.
Nice.
And they would leave the biggest fucking mess
right
you would ever see in your life and absolutely no tip.
$2.
Mm-hmm. Wallace, a high school senior, had to have stitches above her eye after the incident and had a chunk of her hair pulled out, her aunt said.
Wow.
Wallace told people that one woman in the group of customers pushed her and she pushed her back. I was kind of fighting for my life, Wallace told the magazine.
All right, let's not get carried away.
I was really scared and I was calling out for my mama.
Let's not get carried away. Your life wasn't in jeopardy. You just took an ass beating.
She says she does not plan to return to her job once this GoFundMe pays off.
Oh, well, that's smart.
Saying that the incident really has taken an emotional toll on me, not just physically, but emotionally as well.
Well, and the sad part is because this now there's the media coverage, the GoFundMe will probably make her $250,000.
Of course.
Sure. Wow. Boy, they did tear a big chunk of her fucking hair out, though. Look at that shit. Woof. Back of her head looks like the top of LeBron James's.
Yeah.
Fucking balding. Wow. Yeah.
Ripped out a chunk of her weave.
I got to say, that must have hurt.
Yeah. She deserves a go fuck yourself.
She does.
Mm-hmm. All right. And
that's quite a story.
Yeah. And our good friend Chris Wicks has chimed in. It was Billy's cousin, Danny Morris.
Danny Morris, okay.
And Jamie lived in Newberry, Ohio.
Okay, there you go.
So he was correcting me or bringing me up to date. But thank you, Chris.
Nice. Dude, you want to see? Do you want to see how fucked this fucking news media is?
Tell me, please.
I'll actually show you. So okay. I don't know if you saw, but Trump's brother died.
Yes, I'm aware.
So in most days, that would be the number one story, would it not?
You would think. I mean, you know, he is the president after all, and his next of kin has passed away.
Look at CNN. I'm going to show you CNN right now on the screen.
The old clown news network.
Even his brother dying, not bigger than an opinion piece.
Right, of course.
A big sign, Trump is a weak candidate.
Yeah, of course he is.
So that's apparently more important than the president's brother's death.
Well, of course it is. You got to defeat Trump at any cost.
How fucking dumb is this media?
Well, it's why I don't watch any of it.
I just happened to, somebody threw me the link and I just pulled it up. It was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. I got to hand it to Trump. You know, I know I know you say you're not a political guy and you don't give a shit and all that crap, yeah. But I was watching one of his press conferences the other day, and he was kind of giving a update on, you know, where the economy stands and where the unemployment stands and where the coronavirus, you know, battle stands and all this. He was just kind of giving you a kind of a status update, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, the media jackals have to veer off from, you know, the subject at hand.
Sure.
And you know, one of these media types, they get in there and they go, well, Mr. Trump or President, what do you think about this the survey or this article that came out that said that Russia is already meddling in the 2020 election, that's trying to disadvantage Biden and give you the edge.
Okay.
He was just like, I read the article, I saw what it said. It's just not Russia. It's China and it's Iran and other countries who have been you know, targeted as meddling or attempting to meddle in our election. Why didn't you mention those countries? Why did you just specifically key in on Russia? Why are you doing that? Why are you leaving out facts?
Yeah.
He goes, I read the same article. Why are you leaving out facts? How come you only keyed in on this? He goes, see, this is what the fake media does. See, look at this guy over here. Look at him. Just look at him. He's one of those people. I mean, he was calling this guy out, just pointing at him and go, just look at him over there. Just look, see that this is a guy right there. That guy right there.
Right.
You know, I just had to laugh. It's just like, I'm shaming this guy for being such a douchebag.
Well, the media definitely needs to be shamed. Whether I'm pro or anti-Trump, I'm certainly anti-media.
Yeah.
But
it was just funny because he focused in on this guy and just, you know, made him look like a total asshole.
Who was the guy?
Just some reporter. I don't know who he was.
It wasn't one of the main ones.
No, it wasn't like Jim Acosta or anybody like that.
Yeah.
But still, he was just one of these guys. Just, he goes, see, this is what the fake media does. They don't report the whole story. They always only give you bits and pieces and facts. They cherry pick everything. And the way that this guy phrased this question is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at him over there. Just look at him. You know, just pointing him out. He goes, that's the guy right there.
Right.
Just what a dick. I loved it. But anyway, it's just fun to watch. But no, I don't pay attention to the media. Fuck them people.
Yeah, I can't be bothered.
They're assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing truthful comes out of the media. Nothing.
That's why I don't watch it.
Nope. Not a thing. Just listen to us. We'll give you the facts.
I keep my fiction based in stuff that's actually classified as fiction.
Exactly.
I don't need to watch people pretending that they're giving me facts and it's just lies.
Yeah.
No thanks.
All right. I'll let you pick a tune. What do you want to hear?
How about the song "Soft" by Warrior Soul?
Okay.
From Chill Pill.
I like Warrior Soul.
I do too.
Right.
And I know we've almost never played anything off Chill Pill, so.
All right. Well, we'll definitely play that. So I got it queued up. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, we're going to play a few songs. We'll come back. We'll do some more stuff. So here it is. It's Warrior Soul exclusively here
on your classic metal show.